He was talking about this wealthy Roman who wanted to seem smart. So instead of, doing the reading or going to school or getting tutors, he hires a collection of wealthy slaves. And in Rome, often slaves were captured from other countries, sort of smart people, and then they were used as tutors. So most wealthy Romans would have had slaves as their teachers or freed slaves as their teachers. So anyways, he hires these educated slaves. Instead of having them teach him, he just used them. So if he needed to say something smart, he would have them whisper it in his ear, or he would have them feed him answers like at dinner parties and stuff. And so finally, he kind of thinks he's getting away with it. And a friend comes up to him and he says, I noticed, you're so smart. You've been entertaining us all at this dinner party. He says, have you ever thought about taking up wrestling? That being obviously one of the other sort of dominant areas of ancient life, the sport of wrestling. And the man says, I'm old. I'm way too old to pick up wrestling. What are you talking about? And the guy says, but your slaves are still young.
Uh-huh.
And his point was, you just can't have people do this stuff for you. You think you can outsource wisdom, but you can't outsource wisdom just as you can't outsource exercise. Because the point is that it's a byproduct of the work that you do, not a thing that you're a conduit for.
But do you think
Right.
that is the same thing for technology? I mean, like, you can still be smart and use your GPS.
Yes.
There's some technologies that we've adopted that then have meant that we've lost the ability to do that thing, but we are probably not less smart off it.
I think that's a great point, right? They call this sort of cognitive offloading or cognitive surrender. And so there are some tasks that are not really worth doing that you can probably surrender. I've certainly surrendered whatever ability I had to navigate before GPS. Not that it was particularly impressive, almost entirely to my phone. But I can't call myself a navigator, and I wouldn't consider myself good at navigating just because I rarely get lost, right? Like that's a function of the GPS, not anything that I have. And I think wisdom is a good example of something that, you can have access to lots of information. It's not quite the same thing as being wise or even smart. And so to me, it's like, look, you can have ChatGPT write your essay, but the point was never to write the essay. The point was to be the person on the other side of writing the essay who has clarified their thinking.
The person who could write that essay.
Exactly.